A person without a vision will perish. A nation without a vision will perish. A business without a vision will perish. An education without a vision will perish. Alice came to crossroads. There were roads going in all directions, and she stood there not knowing what to do. Up on the tree was the Cheshire Puss. Alice looked up and said, "Which way do I go?" The pussycat replied, "Which way do you want to go?" "I don't much care where," said Alice. "Then it doesn't much matter which way you go." "Which way are you going to go, my friend? What do you see 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What do you see every day?" If you see a dreadful world, if you see disappointments, if you see hardship, if you see unhappiness, you will find more of it because that is your vision. Rudolf Steiner said in the earlier 20th century, "We tell our story until it tells us." That is profound. Your life is a story and you are the author. You have a canvas and you fill it. Whatever story you live in your head is the outcome you get. You tell yourself you're marvelous and have a vision that will change the world, you will probably walk a mile in that direction. You tell yourself that the world is shit and horrific, and you walk a mile in that direction. You see, everything in this creation is abundant. Love, happiness, joy, and even sadness, poverty, and misery. You attract and get what you see. Let me tell you a story about Walt Disney. Walt imagined this wonderful, magical, enchanting place called the Disney World. He drew up the whole plan, the blueprint, exactly what it would look like and what it will do for people. And he presented it to his board. There were 9 members in the board. The idea was rejected by a vote of 8:1. And the arguments were logical. America is recovering from depression. Who the hell will pay for a joyride when they don't even have money for a loaf of bread? But it was Walt's company. He was the chairman. He decided he will invest the highest ever money known to man into an entertainment project. So the Disney World was built. Trials were conducted. Everything was ready. But in 1966, Walt died of lung cancer. Disney World was not yet open to public. 1971, the Disney World opens to great fanfare, huge success. Not only did people pay for rides, they paid for it over and over again. And at the end of that opening day, there was a ceremony for a vote of thanks. All the board of directors lined up for their speech. The first guy ended his speech by saying this: "I wish Walt was here to see this." The second, third, and all 8 ended their speech by saying, "I wish Walt was here to see this." The last person on the podium was Walt Disney's wife. She gave a one-line speech. She said, "We are all here today because Walt was the only person who saw it." You see, you are the painter. Life is your canvas. People with extraordinary visions shape our world. What's yours? You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be privileged. You don't need to be famous, and you don't need a golden spoon. You can have all of this and end up nowhere, and we have many stories of that. And you can have none of this and end up changing the world. Why? Because you have a vision. Take a look at Gandhi, a frail-looking lawyer with a heavy accent, arrives in South Africa in 1893, is thrown out of his first-class compartment of the train for being a man of color. No one knew him. He was a nobody. But he later came to India and declared that India would get their independence from the mighty British Empire through non-violence. One man, people, like him or hate him. The world celebrates this one man, for he inspired people, their souls, their nation, to a path unknown to man before that or after that. He didn't battle. He went to jail. He didn't fight. He fasted. But through his own suffering, he awakened the silent souls and recreated a full nation. He didn't look up and say, "Which way do I go, God?" He looked up and said, "Give me strength because I have decided to go this way. Which way are you going?" Gandhi inspired the likes of Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr. Imagine a society in 1960s with no equality or voting rights or schooling or healthcare for a full section of society. A time of greatest unrest. And in that 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. gives a speech. He says, "I have a dream. I have a dream that black and white live together in harmony, go to same schools, neighborhoods, hospitals, and whatnot." But what happened to Martin Luther King? 1968, cut, shot dead, no more. But 20 to 30 years later, after that, what do you see? You see black people everywhere in sports and TV, in movies, doctors, educators, philosophers, and 2008, you see Barack Obama as the President of the United States of America. How come it happened? Happened because someone dared to dream it. Vision, people, vision. Let me read you a quote. All men and women are born, live, suffer, and die. But what distinguishes us one from another is our dreams. Whether they be dreams about worldly or unworldly things and what we do to make them come about. We do not choose to be born. We do not choose our parents. We do not choose our historical epoch, the country of our birth, or the immediate circumstances of our upbringing. We do not, most of us, choose to die, nor do we choose the time and conditions of our death, but within this realm of choicelessness, we choose how we live. What are you choosing in your life? What are you attracting? You know what this quote means? You are where you are and what you are. Your problems are what they are, and they are yours because of one reason. You might be seeking happiness, health, wealth, relationship, respect, fame, fortune, material, non-material goals, spirituality, anything. You don't have what you want because of one reason. You might not have the ideal life, the ideal job, the ideal salary, the ideal home, the ideal spouse, the ideal health, the ideal body, the ideal thinking, the ideal vision, the ideal success, the ideal love, the ideal anything that you want because of one reason. The reason is you. You chose or chose not to choose. You are where you are because you painted your own canvas to get there. But the wonderful part about life is this. You have this amazing power to erase that painting. Not erase the past, but erase the painting and paint a new one for tomorrow. What has happened, but it doesn't have to happen again. And you decide, you choose, it's your life, and you have to live no one else's vision but yours. Yeah, life may have been unfair. You may be beaten once, twice, maybe umpteen times, but remember this. There is no failure. There is only giving up. And only when you give up is when you cannot win. And giving up is a choice. It's what you add to the blank canvas. Keep going because you can't reach the destination if you stop. You can't reach the destination if you turn back. But you can reach the destination despite the hurdles, despite the roadblocks, only if you keep going. Your attitude is much more important than the fact or the event. Fact could be that life sucks, but you know what attitude is? Attitude is, I have faith in my ability to overcome this. And if you have that, and even if your life fucking sucks, guess what? You turn it around. Let me tell you about a real-life coaching story. This particular coaching client was a senior vice president of a very large retail company. Now, he had been in this role for years and years. He's disgruntled about it for obvious reasons. He hasn't been promoted or seen raises for a while. He's seeing other divisions of the company grow, his peers being promoted, salaries rising, but not for him. In my first session with him, he says, "Why are you coaching me? I'm 54 years old. I've nothing to achieve. I'm here in this role for the last 12 years and will be here till probably I have to retire. I've nothing to look forward to in my life. I'll do my job well, but I'm too old to start over again or even look for a more exciting job. Me and my family's standard of living will remain where it is. I've accepted this is it." I asked him, "Nothing to look forward to?" "Nothing," he replied and repeated again in an angry tone at that. I asked him if we could write down things he likes or enjoys. "There's no use, nothing will change," he said. I told him let's just see anyways and started writing for him. I asked him if his wife loved him. He said, "Of course she does, we've been married 32 years. I asked him about his children. He said he has 3 daughters and they call him every day before he leaves for work and tell him that they love him and are very proud of him. He emphatically told me then, not a day do they miss. I said, "Friends?" He said he doesn't have too many friends, but there are a couple of them since college days who are with him always, in good times or in bad. They keep exploring opportunities for me and I tell them the same thing, there is no point. I asked him what was his most treasured value in life. He said, "Honesty. I've never harmed anyone or lied to anyone." I asked him how his health was. He said, "A few problems here and there, but I keep pretty good health. I can walk about 10 miles if I want to." I asked him if he believes and likes his country. He said, "Of course I do. This is the place to be in." Finally, I asked him if he was religious and he replied, "I believe in God. I'm thankful for what I have." I was writing for him all this while and I turned that small sheet of paper that I'd been writing on and look at it. It read, "A wife that loves me for 30 years, 3 daughters who are proud of me, 2 friends who explore opportunities for me almost every day. Honesty, good health, I love my country, I believe in God. I told him, I thought you said there was nothing to look forward to. He took that list from me. It still hangs up on his pin-up board. Do you see what the problem is? Life gives you what you focus on. You focus on blame and complain and tears and pains, you get more of it, dude. But you focus on possibilities and visions and beauty and joy, and you walk in anticipation. You will get there, because that's the law of nature. Not mine, not yours. Nature says, as you sow, so shall you reap. You sow the seeds of possibilities, and guess what grows? You sow it through a vision, your vision, a focused vision. We can all choose to focus forever on problems, on negative situations, or on something we don't have. And then we will keep reinforcing it all our lives. But we can also focus on what we have. We can at the very least have faith in our own abilities. Attitude is more important than fact. It's also the perfect reason why you must focus on a positive future. Take actions that give you hope and belief that things are going to be great, and never give up. Now is the time to choose your vision, to see beyond the struggles, beyond the excuses, and walk toward your vision. Because you, my friend, are the painter, your life is the canvas, and you have a complete freedom of choice to take it wherever it is that you want to go.